Unless you've been living under a YouTube rock, you've seen them, video after video, promising free cruises if you just gamble a little in a casino. It's everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everyone is making it sound so easy. But there's way too much misinformation out there. And out of all possible cruising tips, this one can literally be devastating. And I'm not exaggerating here. I've tested this strategy for an entire year. I earned Prime status on Royal Caribbean. I got the certificates that everybody's raving about. And I'm about to show you exactly what happened and the hidden reasons why I won't be doing it again. And those are the reasons you won't hear in most other videos. Now, I'm going to start with a big disclaimer because I don't want to read 100 comments about this. If you are an avid player and you love spending time and money in the casino, this video is not for you. You can just pause right now. If you're going to play, of course, a lot anyway, then definitely participate in the casino bonus program to benefit from it. It'd be silly not to. Now, this video is for those who, like me, on a regular cruise, used to go and spend $20 on a roulette, play an occasional hand of blackjack, and then you hear these videos that are coming out by hundreds right now, and all of them are claiming that you're missing out on all these free cruises, and you think, well, maybe I should just go play a little more. This video is for you. And the first thing I want to do is stop calling them free cruises. I'm going to call them discounted cruises because they're not really free. But this goes way beyond the actual cost. So first of all, I want to dispel the myth that you can go to the casino with $20 or even $100 and get all these free cruises. Let me be crystal clear. You cannot do this on average. This is the biggest misconception that I see being spread right now. Now again, on some cruises you'll win, on some you'll lose. It is pure gambling. And if you hang around casino player Facebook groups, nobody wants to say that they lost money, so they lovingly call it donating to the cruise line. And without getting into the whole math of the $5 cycling through a machine and points you get, the most common number in Royal Caribbean Facebook groups about gambling is about $1 a point. So to get the lowest instant certificate, you will need to donate at least about $400 on average to earn 400 points. So right there, if you go in a casino and you only have $20 to spend, you're better off keeping your money and just go buy yourself a nice drink. You know, most cruise gamblers budget at least a few $100s per cruise if they're playing this game. And by the way, just in case you think that my opinions are based on the fact that I lost money, it's actually quite the opposite. I actually won enough to have a sizable form that they gave me that I now have to pay income taxes on. So nobody stresses the opposite though. Everybody loves to talk about their winnings, but the opposite is that you could lose everything and leave empty-handed. Or you could spend $2,000 for a certificate for a 3-day Bahamas cruise because you can run through $1,000 on some of these machines just in a heartbeat. The risk is real. Now, let's say you earn that $400 or 400 point certificate. There are 3 problems with these lower tier certificates. First of all, they're usually going to be for one guest. The second passenger has to pay a discounted rate, and both guests still have to pay taxes and fees. Now, most of these certificates are for 3 or 4 day cruises to the Bahamas. So these are going to be on older ships, smaller ships, and these are ships that usually are cheaper anyway. Most of them are going to be interior guarantees or maybe interior cabin. So you might have saved a couple $100. Until you get to the bigger numbers, you're not going to get these amazing cruises on newer, larger ships. Better certificates require anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 points. That's what most players seem to target at the minimum per cruise. And this is where you can start getting certificates that cover 2 people in an ocean view or a balcony cabin. Now, this is where avid cruisers say, oh my gosh, I do that in an afternoon. And it's totally fine. This is what you like doing. Remember, I said at the beginning, this video is not for you. So I'm glad you stayed. But this video is for the non-gamblers who don't gamble regularly and think that this is an easy path towards quickly getting free cruises. Now, before I go any further, I want to be clear about something. There are some great content creators out there that cover casino cruising honestly and transparently. And I've watched their videos to figure out how to do this. I mean, they show both the pros and the cons. They talk about the time investment, the risks, the reality of what you're getting into. And if you're watching those channels and they're being upfront about everything that I'm discussing here, then that's fantastic. Keep watching them. My issue is with the flood of videos that make it sound like it's an easy, guaranteed free cruises with no downsides. The ones that don't mention all these other important issues that I'm about to cover. So if you are a creator that covers this topic honestly, then thank you. Again, this video is not about you. This is about setting the record straight for viewers who are only seeing the highlight reel. So next we come to the offer problem, and this is where it starts not making sense for a majority of people. You see, the instant certificates, they're just a start. You get X number of points on a sailing, you get a certificate. Great. Now this is where everybody's going to tell you, you're going to be flooded with offers. And will you? Well, yes, you might get a lot of offers, especially at the beginning, but there are two big problems with them. First, they're not guaranteed. Those offers can come and go, and worst of all, they can be cut off with no apparent reason. I'm a member of several Facebook groups right now for cruise casino players, and I see posts all the time. People with 20,000 points suddenly get 0 offers, while people with 5,000 points get better offers than those with more points. There's no rhyme or reason, there's zero transparency, and here's what's happening right now. Casino offers are getting worse. The cruise lines are significantly less generous right now than they were last year. And why is that? Well, because ships are filling up faster, and when demand is higher, cruise lines don't need to incentivize you. Now, the second problem is, unless you're retired or you work remotely, you usually can't use all of the offers. I can work from anywhere with a laptop, so I could take advantage of a couple of offers, but my husband with a regular job could only join me for one. Most people don't have unlimited vacation time. And I know this, my friends and family, we have a group of people that cruises every year. We do this one big group cruise, and they love going to the casino. They don't do it for the points, they just love playing. And they all have casino offers sitting there and expiring because they don't have enough vacation. So here's another problem. Most of the bonus offers are only for the next 2 to 3 months. And a lot of times it's just next month. So unless you live in Florida and you can drive to port, you have to buy last minute airfare. So by the time you add the expensive airfare to your discounted cruise, you're paying close to the same money. Now this is where you think I'd say, well, it's a wash, right? But no, there are several bigger issues that are created by the casino strategies that nobody really talks about. So I'll discuss them in a minute. I'll just quickly mention the last point of why it doesn't work for most people. Again, even if you have that one big vacation, question is, well, do you book it now and hope for the last minute offer from the casino? If you do have that one vacation you're looking for, it's a nightmare. I mean, by the time you realize the offer is not coming, all the good cabins are gone. So what I see is many players, they book refundable cabins to lock it down while hoping for the offer to come. So they're kind of tying up their money, hoping the cruise line will be nice to them. So now let's talk about how you actually earn these points. The best way to get points on any cruise ship casino is slots. And I understand that casino players cannot comprehend why many people find slots boring. But for many people who don't gamble, slots are like watching paint dry. And I learned that the machines with all the bells and whistles that make it a little more interesting, well, they're the high volatility machines. So yes, you can win high, you can also lose a lot. And ultimately, you're still sitting in the machine pushing a button. And if you do want to chase the points, then you should be choosing those old style machines, you know, the ones with the sevens. So here comes the problem. To earn discounted cruises, you need a certain ADT, your average daily theoretical amount. And that's where the cruise lines, or really any casino, they calculate how much they think you're going to lose theoretically and whether it's worth bringing you back at a discount. Well, the problem I faced personally, because I don't like sitting in a casino for hours, I was trying to figure out what's the fastest way I can get these points. What I learned is that you cannot just bet high and spend very little time, because the time you spend in a casino heavily counts towards your ADT, which will determine those other offers, not the instant cruise certificate, but the offers that come afterwards. And you can check out any forum, any Facebook group about this, they'll tell you the same thing. So which means you need to sit there for hours daily. And most people in these groups plan to spend about 3 to 5 hours a day in a casino earning their free cruises. And again, it's fine if that's what you enjoy doing, but you cannot just walk in for 10 minutes, spend the money, and expect to leave and just be flooded with all these offers. The question I have is this: well, how much is your vacation time worth? Remember, I'm not talking to people who cruise 10 times a year and love gambling. If you spend 2 to 4 hours a day in a casino, you're literally working 14 to 28-hour part-time job on your vacation to help pay for the next cruise. But here's the next kicker. You still don't have a guarantee. It's like a job that says, hey, you work this amount of time, we might pay you, or you might pay us for the privilege of working. You might get some benefits down the road, but we don't know what they are and what you'll get, and they could disappear if our company does really well next year. Now, would you take that job? Probably not. Then why would you want to do it on vacation? So next point is, if you're cruising with your family on vacation that you've been planning for, do you really want to spend hours in a casino every day just because somebody in the video said you can earn cruises that way? Well, picture this. After the kids go to sleep, after your spouse goes to sleep, you have to go work for the next cruise without a guarantee. And for me, that's exactly what it came around. Before this test, my husband and I would go to dinner, we'd catch a show, and then we'd head to a Schooners bar to listen to the piano or a pub for live music. Now it became literally, sorry, honey, I have to go to work. I have to put in 2 to 3 hours in a casino so the cruise line doesn't cut me off. Something to think about. Now let's talk about something that will affect many people. If you're going with a few $100s, not thousands, your offers are going to be for smaller, older ships. And here's the next big problem. Most of those casinos allow smoking, and they try to separate them sometimes. And of course, it's smoke, it's air, it still gets through. So if you're going on a brand new ships like Star of the Seas, which has an amazing large non-smoking section, or Celebrity, which has non-smoking casinos, which is great, as a non-smoker, you have to sit in a smoke-filled room for 2 to 3 hours per day. And personally, that bothered me, especially when I could be up on the outside deck getting fresh ocean air. And here's the irony I see all the time. You know how many people say, I don't want to go on those big cruise ships. It's a monstrosity. It's not a vacation. Cruising is not what it used to be, because cruising is about sitting outside, looking at the waves, and just relaxing. It's not about theme parks or water slides. And then these same people will go sit in a smoke-filled casino for hours on day, and which to me is not cruising either. It's Las Vegas. I mean, nothing wrong with Vegas, but it's not cruising by even their own definition. And they're doing that to earn their next cruise, which they're gonna then just turn around and spend more time and money in the casino earning the next cruise. And that brings me to the next point. It is a vicious cycle of these offers. If you want them to continue, you pretty much have to continue playing. Because again, it's based on your average daily theoretical. And so your last cruise actually plays a heavy role in your future offers. So if you go on a comped cruise, either from a cruise line or any of these casino matching agencies, they tell you they expect you to play in a casino on that sailing. And if you think that you're gonna do this once and then cruise for free for a year, that's just not gonna happen. It's like I said, it is a vicious cycle, and you pretty much just have to feed the beast. Now, I have to mention that this is real gambling, and it is an extremely addictive thing. And there are reasons why so many people get hooked on it and have a mental problem with it. It is a dangerous thing for many people, and I would not recommend it for anybody who doesn't have extreme self-control. Gambling, you probably heard, I'm sure, activates the same brain reward system as cocaine, heroin, alcohol. So even casual gamblers can develop these dependencies without realizing it. And the cruise environment, the way I see it, makes it even worse. You're on vacation mode, you're relaxed, alcohol is flowing freely, there are no clocks in a casino. It is really easy to lose track of time and money. And then you have this sunk cost fallacy. Once you've invested enough money, many people feel like they are compelled to keep going to make it worth it. It creates the psychological trap that is really hard to escape. Now, to contrast that, when I went to the casino, and I don't really care for actual gambling, I learned what machines I need to play, how much money I need to put in. I took notes that I kept for everything. I even have a spreadsheet of everything that happened, all the money in, money out, the points. And then as soon as I could hit the exact amount of points I needed to get my next cruise, I would leave. So did I get some casino cruises? Yes, but they're not free cruises. They're discount cruises. You have to pay taxes, fees. The second guest, you're donating probably hundreds of dollars to the cruise lines, maybe thousands of dollars. You are spending all these hours. So the question now becomes, who is this really for? Of course, people who already love gambling and are going to do it anyway. For anybody who cruises 6 to 10 times a year, I can see them working. Retirees with unlimited time and flexibility, and people with complete self-control and discipline. And who does this not work for? I'd say regular people with 1 or 2 vacations per year, families who want to actually spend time together on vacation, and people who don't enjoy sitting in casinos for hours. And without a strict self-discipline and self-control, those people definitely do not need to be doing this. So will I go back to the casino? Possibly, here and there, but I'm not going to spend time every day for hours on my vacation trying to earn new cruises. Instead, I'd rather use other methods, like the ones I cover in this video, to save money on my next cruise. But I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let me know in the comments what you think about this issue, and thank you for watching.